Charles Barkley joining us, NBA on TNT. CB, how are you?
I'm good, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. You know, the tension's running a little bit high in here, but a guarantee is a guarantee, isn't it?
Guarantee is a guarantee, but let me tell you something. I don't. This Manti Te'o story. He had to go cater to tell the people he was lying. I think if anybody didn't put it together, he was lying from the beginning. They're just stupid.
Wait, you don't believe him?
I don't. I don't think he was. I don't think he started the hoax, but I think he joined. And first of all, he's admitted he joined in on the hoax at some point. But the whole thing is just silly. I mean, he just got busted, and it just don't sound good. I'm gonna give him a pass because he's a young kid. He's in college. Seems like a nice kid, but the bottom line is he just lied and got busted.
If you were playing in the NBA and he was a player, would you heckle?
Oh, yeah, you got to heckle him. That's part of it, dude. Anything you do in sports, but, it's good-natured hazing. Your teammate's going to be a lot better than some of these fans are. I mean, the fans are going to kill him. But you know what? He did it, Dan. And, anytime I did anything stupid in the NBA, I got heckled. That's just part of it. But your teammates is going to be more of a fun thing. And fans are going to be mean-spirited. But listen, like I said, he made his bed. He got a lie in it.
What was the toughest place to play as far as the fans giving you grief?
Oh, I thought the fans in New Jersey were the worst. And I always tell them, I think those fans in New Jersey was mean because they couldn't afford to live in New York. They were brutal, and the team wasn't that good, to be honest with you. But they would talk trash like they were the Celtics or the Lakers or the Bulls fans. But those people in New Jersey were brutal. And I was like, your team's not even that good. Y'all need to shut the hell up. They're like that guy down in Washington, that Robin Thicke idiot.
Yeah.
Like, dude, why do you talk so much trash? Your team's no good.
The Lakers aren't any good right now. Poll question. Who's the first to go? Mike D'Antoni, Pau Gasol, or Dwight Howard?
Probably Dwight. I mean, not Dwight. I mean, Powell. Dan, you should watch my show more. I told you 2 months ago when I broadcast the game, the Lakers weren't going to be any good. They're old, they're slow, and they're not going to make the playoffs. They got to make a decision, though, in the next probably 3 weeks on Pau Gasol. Because, he's probably got some trade value. I don't think you can trade Dwight because why would you give up a bunch of parts for Dwight and he can walk at the end of the season? So the only thing I'd be watching is the Pau Gasol situation.
Yeah, but what are you getting for Pau Gasol?
Well, I mean, the guy's a good player. You probably can get something for him. I mean, I think he got 2 years left on his contract. But he's a good player. I mean, that's the one thing that's frustrating about the Mike D'Antoni thing. He's a good, solid coach. But you got a guy like a Pau Gasol who's a good player. I never heard a good player not fitting in a system. I mean, think about that. Guy is a good player. And, you got a guy who's, been around for a long time, been an all-star a few times. You should be able to cater some things around to fit him into, quote-unquote, a system.
Well, but I think it's Dwight Howard and Pau Gasol in the same system. Pau Gasol fits in just about any system as talented as he is. I think it's Dwight Howard. That's the bigger issue here of fitting it to cater to him, but it's really Kobe's team.
Well, I think I got to tell you something. I have been in a little shock because I've been saying that, me and Shaq been going at it because Shaq obviously is not a big Dwight Howard fan. This guy to me has been the best big man in the NBA for the last 3 or 4 years. I'm hesitant to say he hasn't played well, obviously, but I'm a little hesitant because I don't know how healthy he is. But if he's healthy, I've been very disappointed in the way he's played all season. But like I say, we don't know how healthy he is. Obviously, he's got some issues going on with his shoulders. But if you look at, his back, I don't know what's going on with his back. But to see it's been disappointing, he's had a disappointing season, that's very fair to say.
Well, I think he came back maybe a little too soon. We had Steph Curry on Golden State Warriors guard, and he said, look, he's different. The way he's playing, it's different. You can tell that. So he's trying to ease back into shape. The shoulder now, he re-injures that. What bothered me more, though, is he's saying, hey, look at this stat sheet. I'm not getting touches. Dwight Howard should try to look at this and look at the entire picture and say, how do I make the team better? And you can be great defensively, fit in offensively. You try to help the team. And I think he's looking at his numbers, and I think that's a bigger problem here for this team.
Well, in fairness, if you look at his numbers, he's averaging 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Those are actually good numbers. But listen, I don't know how good he can be defensively because the Lakers are the slowest team in the NBA.
And they play no defense. Last night you get these young teams, they're just going to run them to death. And
they're going to run them to death. Steve Nash, he can't guard anybody. Ron Artest is slowed down. Pau Gasol can't guard anybody. They really put Dwight in an awkward situation.
Yeah.
He's got fast breaks coming to him every single night. And but the Lakers are just not good, man. They old and they slow. And they're only going to get older. They're only going to get slower. Like I say, to me, what's going to be fascinating is what's going to happen next month with the trade deadline. Because, they're only going to get older and slower next year. And they've got to make a decision on Dwight if he wants to stay there. It's all up to him. But I say to me, the Pau Gasol thing is going to be fascinating. Like, do you let Pau Gasol go before the trade deadline next month? That's the only decision I think they got to make. Because they can't really trade anybody else. Nobody wants Artest. Steve Nash is 39 years old. And like I said, any team that would trade for Dwight and he can walk as a free agent.
Yeah.
That's just idiotic.
Well, you got to sign him. It's got to be a sign and trade. You got to give him a long-term deal, or nobody's going to give you. They're not going to give you dollar for dollar. It'll be pennies on the dollar for Dwight Howard.
Well, but you can't do a sign and trade unless it's somewhere Dwight wants to go.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have to say to him, and then there's going to be the embarrassment part of this that it didn't work out in Los Angeles, and now he's going to go someplace else after being in Orlando all this time. So, I think he's trying to save face as well. But I also look at how tough is Kobe on these guys as a teammate?
Well, Kobe's a tough guy to play with. But listen, man, those guys, when you look at the Lakers team, obviously there's nobody on that team other than Kobe Bryant who's played well all year. Not a single person on that team has played well. Steve Nash, he's hurt, but he's not playing well. He can't guard anybody. Ron Artest out there working hard, but he's lost all his foot speed. Obviously, Pau Gasol has not played well. Dwight has not played well. The bench is not very good. Everybody's going to try to circle it around and go at Kobe, but that team, nobody on that. Kobe's had a good year, but there's not one other person on that team who's had a good year. That's the bottom line. Like I say, I know some of these people. This is not Kobe's fault, and Mike D'Antoni is a good coach, but they can't play his system.
Yeah, I know.
What years did Steve Nash win MVP?
It's been a long time ago.
It's been a long time. He can't move anymore.
Yeah, but even if he was younger, it's still not the right system for this team. It wasn't from the beginning.
All the guys are old.
Yes.
And Dwight's not helping. Dwight actually is the only guy who probably can play that system. He's one of the more athletic big guys in the NBA. But Kobe Bryant, I don't think at this age can play that system. And D'Antoni tried to put him on the best perimeter guard, and he's been tired for a week. He guarded Brandon Jennings one game, and he guarded Kyrie Irving and stopped both of those guys. Now he's been tired for the next week. We talked about that last week. He can't play the best perimeter guy and have any energy left the next couple weeks.
When are you going to make your Super Bowl pick?
Dan, I lost every football game in the playoffs this year. I didn't even bet the AFC NFC Championship game.
You
and I
shouldn't.
would have lost both games, to be honest with you. I lost every football game in the playoffs. The only team that I picked to win was Atlanta, and they didn't cover against Seattle.
Okay, but wait, tell me who you would bet on.
I took AFC and NFC Championship game off. But I would have lost both of those games, so I'm a little nervous about the Super Bowl right now.
Well, tell me who you're going to pick, so we'll go the other way.
Well, I'm actually leaning. I see the lines coming down.
Yep.
San Francisco still favored by 3.5. It's not going to go any lower than that. They're not going to make it a field goal game.
Yep.
But I'm leaning toward San Francisco right now. I'm leaning toward San Francisco.
Oh gosh. No. All right. Well, that's my pick. Now I feel bad.
You picking San Francisco?
Well, I picked them at the beginning of the year, so that's the team I thought would win the Super Bowl. So I'm going with them.
I had Atlanta and the Patriots before the season started.
Are you going to bet? Don't bet on the Super Bowl.
What do you think the Super Bowl's for? That's all the Super Bowl's for. That's the reason it's the biggest party of the year. Every year. I can't wait for the Super Bowl.
All right. Well, then I'll check in with you next week to get your final pick. Always good to talk to you.
All right, my brother. Take care of yourself.
Thank you, Charles. Charles Barkley, NBA on TNT.